Hi. Alright, this is Pirate R, and we are looking at a good game final for the 221st death match between Smoku and Gozik. And Gozik has metalworking, and Smoku has sailing, which ended up evening out the castles. Alright, well, and he got even more castles. So Gozik is sharing metalworking. And let's see what he gets. Alright. Now these are both expert players, and Gozik has melded clothing. Let's see if Smoku is gonna go with sailing or mysticism. They have both beaten some really good players. Gozik beat Twal in the semifinals, and Smoku beat Paiwong in the semifinals. So that looks like a pretty good tournament they've had so far. So Smoku melds writing, and he got a 2 in hand. I think Smoku may be looking for what is that card? Map making. I think he may be looking for map making. Or he can just do mysticism, and but chances are doing mysticism means he may or may not uh, help clothing inadvertently. But let's see what Gozik wants to do to proceed ahead. Today I am just by myself to do the commentary. I kind of thought I will have a little bit of help, but Twal actually has gone to sleep, and all right, here we go, pottery. So Twal went to sleep, and Block is actually busy. Alright, so he is doing clothing, and I am pretty sure Smoku knows what exactly is the leftover one uh, that's there. Also, I'm wondering if Orth has made an appearance yet. I don't know, but I don't remember how Smoku ended up scoring one. There you go. That's my picking. Speak of the devil. But you know what, Smoku? Uh, think Gozik is gonna do pottery? I don't know, because if he does pottery, he will only. Yep. So that is even with the crown. So let's say if Smoku shares mysticism, well, he's not going to share it. But if he does mysticism and melds, say, mathematics, let me see. Mathematics is the blue card. Oh, it has one crown. But if he gets canal building, or yeah, if he gets canal building, that is the only way he could save something. But you know what? He could actually do. He could. There you go. Can he play his greens, his blues, his greens? Yeah. So well, I got cleaners cleaning my house, so that's where you hear all the fun sounds. Okay, so uh, the rain of clothing is out, so now I guess it's gonna be pottery, and Gozik will try to go for the first achievement at least, I think, uh, because sharing metalworking might not benefit him. We don't know. There's still a bunch of twos left. Yep, there we go. There's pottery. So Smoku is looking for maybe a useless red card, level 2 red card. I bet you Smoku is probably going to draw. So Smoku is in Poland and he speaks English and Polish. Gozik is from Uzbekistan and he speaks English and Russian. So he is a good player. Well, they're both experts. Gozik is 600 ELO, Spoku is 551 ELO. That's pretty cool, pretty dang nice. So we're looking at two great players. And being innovation, they just okay. So Gozik is gonna go for the first achievement, of course. Hopefully, I'm saying his name right. Gozik. Okay, so he is. Yep. Okay. So Smoku draws and scores a 3. But at this time, Smoku does not have anything scoring. Map making has run out its course, and let's see what we have. Okay, so Gozik is looking to maybe get a 4. So that does sound like a good plan. Going up levels is always a great idea. He will have to share it, of course, but Smoku is probably going for road building. Sharing writing is a great idea to draw 2 cards, of course. Hmm. But he has to be careful. He is not uh, falling victim to, well, what else? Machinery. So, let's see. Um, Smoku is, I know he is looking at road building, and road building is pretty dang good card. Oh, that's nice. Now, paper is awesome. I mean, he can, of course, share education, but I don't know if he will. He might just go for I don't know. He might just go and take up. So let's see. Is Gozik going to wait until Smoku draws a bunch of 4s in his hands? Paper. In case Gozik has machinery. You know, my opinion about machinery is it is the rudest card in the game. Ores, however, is, well, ores is trouble. It's ores. Alright, so let's see. What are the plans of our two experts? Gozik was in a final with I forgot who. I keep forgetting names. Was it Fiendmonger? But it was a pretty good game they had. Really good players, and Gozik won the final. And I think that was his first trophy. So it's always great. I mean, getting your first trophy is always memorable. I still remember my very first trophy, and I had my most memorable game, my most stressful game against ssmoku. So yeah, that was pretty cool. Alright, so he is going with pottery. Is he going for the next achievement? Yep. So he might do pottery and so he is going to get the second and third achievement first, I bet. ssmoku got a couple of fours. He may or may not want to steal clothing, but we'll see. But road building is always good to have. He can just do road building and meld a couple of cards, right? However, like I said, ssmoku does not have any scoring cards at this time. Even if he has what's that card, gunpowder, that's only going to score metalworking, right? So ssmoku is thinking, and of course he's going for road building. Ooh, nice. Okay, well, there's a good way to wipe out pottery's advantage, right? He uses printing press and returns a 1, and gozik will only score a 1 next turn instead of scoring a 3. Enterprise, however, will only get him clothing, and that's not going to work to his advantage, right? So, hmm. So ssmoku is probably going to use printing press and splay his blues. Yep, he is going to return a 1, of course, and try to derail pottery, which is always a good idea. I think I did that because my other opponent was just doing scoring big with pottery, and I think I did tools where I returned a bunch of 1s, and I deliberately used tools again and returned a bunch of 1s and 2s, after which he quit pottery. Now atomic theory sounds pretty dang good, right? Um, he is going to go to level 7. However, like I said, it's hmm. So gozik is going to level 5, I think, and ssmoku passed because at this time going to level 4 is not really optimal for ssmoku. So gozik is looking at the 3s that are in his score pile and thinking about which one to return. um, it helps if somebody has sailing because which Smoku has, of course, buried over there. People have returned really low cards and shared ceiling to melt that returned low card over the other player's board. So, yep, that's always fun. Unfortunately, Selling's chance has sailed away, and education is gonna do a nice trick, right? Level 5, level up, and we are going to do education. It's entirely possible that Gozik will share metalworking just to wipe out the 1 and the 3s. Um, and Smoku, even if he scores whatever is in 1 and 3, that's still not going to do much, right? So, okay, so Gozik is educating. So, let's see what happens with education. Now, just FYI, this is going to be part 1 of the stream because I will have to stop for a few minutes. I have somebody that's gonna vacuum the room, and when she comes into the room, I will have to stop the stream, and I will tell these guys to give me about 20 minutes or so. So, yep, just FYI. Okay, huh, nice electricity. However, the thing with electricity is if there is if there is machinery in Gozik's head, that's going to be a lot of trouble. However, Smoku is thinking about his chances, which means he does not have machinery in his hand or score pile, which means it's either in Gozik's hand or score pile or still on the board. So we are going over the cards. I bet you Smoku is browsing all cards. Let's see. Okay, so he decided to go with explosives. Interesting. Now I'm wondering if the 5 in Gozik's hand, if it is purple or yellow, because if it is yellow, yeah, it must have been a yellow card because he will probably try to do agriculture. Okay, so he returned the 3 that was over here. Yeah, he is trying to go to level 8, but that's always good to have too. And he is keeping the 3 in hand, which means it is machinery in his hand. Now Smoku will probably do electricity, right? Yep, he is. So that is 3. Smoku may be looking for a nice purple 8 in order to be able to go to level 10. We let's see what uh, is the next step. Game is going pretty interesting. However, it is one-sided, as we see, but it is still really interesting, right? Innovation at its best. 2 super good players and trying to make the best of the cards they've been dealt. Let's see. Now there is printing press, and I bet you Smoku does not want to cover printing press, or he might do. Now the 8 in his hands, let's see what are the 8s that are available. There is mobility and flight, rocketry, quantum theory, mass media. He may be looking for mass media. Empiricism is always a good card. Corporations, yeah, because draws and melts and 8. So it doesn't do a lot except for melt and 8. So there is some thought processes going on. The wheels of minds are turning every which way. I can actually literally see. Well, you know what? I saw this video of this little YouTube clip of Charlie Chaplin working in a factory where he was kind of rolling between the, the in the factory screws, which are like just going on like a clock, right? Those different the wheels are turning different ways, and he's like rolling between the wheels, and it was yeah, it was funny and pretty dang interesting. I mean, pretty amazing for a black and white show. Wow, okay, so he is going to, for every different value of card that you return, draw two eights. Okay, that is something Smoku might not want to share, right? Because if Gozik gets a couple of eights, he is just going to use agriculture and then draw out a 10. So let's see what Gozik wants to do. If he has machinery, he will probably just return it. Yeah, he is saving machinery. So he draws and scores a 6. He will get an 8 in hand, but I doubt he will go through that. I think he is just going to melt machinery now. So looking at the game and thinking about the different tricks they are thinking of, innovation requires thinking between every turn, right? First turn and second turn. I have been guilty of, well, not thinking between the two turns and bye bye game. So, yeah, that's kind of. Eh. And then I kind of tried to go away from innovation because I was just doing pretty bad, but hey, I try to play now and then. Okay, so let's go back to the full screen. Nice view of the screen, and let's see what Gozik is thinking about. Because of course, explosives is going to take the 8 that he draws, right? And explosives is going to hand him a 7, which I don't think he will enjoy. At this time, metalworking is shared, like both of them have the same number of castles. But of course, Smoke will start scoring if there are any castles in the 1 and 3 piles. Smoke will score first, and Gozik will score second. So there you go, there's a few. Okay. Alrighty, Batman. Do you think Smoko is going to do electricity and lose the printing press and antibiotics? There is a chance he might. There is a very big chance. And if he does that, he will have philosophy to be able to play and score the eights. But Gozik has fours in hand. He can get the next achievement. He can and he will. Unless he uses education as first turn and draws out an 8. So there's that. ssmoku is thinking between antibiotic, electricity, explosives. Unless he's just going to draw an 8, because he did melt an 8 to be able to draw out an 8 without having to use electricity, right? So I think he's just going to draw another 8, and if he gets say, what's that card, mass media, he could wipe out Gozik's score, right? So that would not be very pleasant for Gozik. But of course we don't know what his 5 in. Oh, he had scored it with agriculture. Duh. Alright, let's see. Let's see. Interesting game, pretty interesting game so far. Enjoying it. So let's see. Of course, sometimes I know sometimes a tournament deliberately favors one person, because we have seen a lot of people that are like, say, 150 200 ELOs go all the way to the finals, and because the games favor them, the tournament favors them. um, I know that's how my tournament winnings have been. Well, of course, I had a little hand in there too, so both of these things work together. Um, right now, outside we have some nice clouds. Okay, not raining at this time, but we woke up to very light rain. And it's semi cold. It's not that cold, but it is semi cold. Have no idea what is the temperature outside. Not gonna ask Alexa because, well, whatever. Alexa. So right now my temperature here is around 53 degrees. It's gonna stay coolish. I do have a ladies' lunch to go to, but anyways. Alright, so ssmoku is thinking. He is going over all the fours that could be in Gozik's hand. So the game of thoughts is going on in the middle of game of innovation. Billy Weekly Deathmatch means you lose, you get knocked out of the tournament. It's different from Swiss tournaments, where if you lose a game, you don't get kicked out, but you stay and play the rest of the tournament games, right? Depending on how many games are scheduled to be for each tournament, for each player, right? Some tournaments, depending on the number of players, they go for like 5, 6, 7, 8, however many games, and you get to play that many games with different players, provided that there are enough players, which in case of innovation, it's usually a full house. So the winner of most of those games ends up becoming the winner of the tournament. That's a Swiss. And then there is round robin, where round robin is a little, you know, there you go, there's empiricism. So round robin is where you play a game with all the other players at the same time, right? If there are four players in the tournament, you have one game going with each player. So you have, say, you have a game going on with player 1, another game with player 2, another with 3, another game with player 4. So you got 4 games going on simultaneously, different tables, of course. You are the fifth player, of course, and it's the same way with all the other players. So let's say uh, Smoku Melded Empire, and Gozik got an 8, of course, using education. He got an 8 because, ooh, and now he has more crowns, right? So let's see. Now Smoku might actually go for printing press and draw a 10. Do you think that maybe the course that might be the case? I'm not sure, but it is pretty dang interesting. Uh, Hang on just a second. I'm gonna be right back, guys. One second. Okay, so my chair is a little squeaky, and I'm sure you guys heard, blam 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 blam. Alright, so let's see. Do we want to do electricity and get 8? Nah, I doubt it. But you know what? If he has mass media and he could meld it and go with it, mass media says splay up your purple cards up. Yep, so that would give him 2 extra crowns. He could also have a, what's that card? A flight. That gives him 2 crowns. Corporation gives him 1 more crown. But these 3 are the only cards in H8 set with the crowns, right? So Smoku draws a 10 using printing press. And he is thinking about it because it probably has now level 10. Let's see, level 10 cards, do they have crowns? Only 1 card has crowns. Self-service. Very interesting. Alright, 1 second. Do you need to work here? Okay, yeah. Hey, let me pause this game. I'm gonna start the second batch of the game. I will start another batch and I will post it with the thing. Thank you so much, guys. I will be back.